You know, our whole lives are kind of playing out against this constant backdrop of sound. But what if that sound wasn't just in the background? What if we could actually use it as a tool to bring ourselves back into balance? Today, we are diving into some really fascinating research that looks at how we can use some pretty deep tech and sound to tune ourselves back to our natural state.
So, does this sound familiar? That feeling of being pulled in a million different directions, you can't focus, your sleep is a mess. It's something pretty much all of us feel in the modern world, and as we're about to see, there's a really good scientific reason for that feeling.
Okay, so first things first, let's really define the problem we're up against. What is it about our modern world that's throwing us so completely out of whack?
I mean, when you see it laid out like this, it's pretty wild. For literally thousands of years, our bodies evolved to be in sync with the planet's cycles. The sounds of sunrise, birdsong, the rhythm of tribal drums. Those were our clocks. They literally set our internal body clocks. Now, look at the right side. We've traded that whole natural symphony for just a constant barrage of city noise, artificial lights, and, you know it, the never-ending ping of our phones.
And this massive disconnect, it actually has a name: dysregulation. And here's the crucial thing to get. It's not just a vague feeling of being a little off. No, it is a real physiological state with very real consequences. We're talking about stress hormones flooding our system, and it directly messes with our ability to think clearly and get deep, restorative rest.
So what's the fix? Well, what if the solution to this super modern problem is actually hidden in ancient wisdom? Wisdom that's now being proven right by modern science. Let's dig into that connection.
For millennia, Vedic traditions have used mantras as these incredibly powerful tools. A great example is the Sohum mantra. It's sometimes called the chantless mantra, which is cool because it's tied to the most fundamental rhythm we have, our own breath. The sound so as you inhale, hum as you exhale. Just by paying attention to that, you're tapping into this powerful, built-in way to calm your entire system down.
And then, of course, there's probably the most famous mantra of all, OM, or AUM. We often think of it as a spiritual symbol, right? But what modern neuroscience is finding out is that it's also a seriously potent vibrational tool that has measurable effects on our bodies.
And this is where the ancient practice meets cold, hard data. Neuroimaging shows that chanting Om literally changes your brain. It shifts your brainwaves into calmer states, it quiets down the amygdala, which is basically your brain's alarm system, and it flips the switch on your rest and digest nervous system. This isn't just about belief, this is biology.
So ancient practices knew this worked, maybe intuitively, but how does it actually work? You know, how can a sound from the outside intentionally change our state on the inside?
Well, it all starts with this pretty basic biological pathway. Sound isn't just processed as information. It gets turned into electrical signals that travel straight to the parts of our brain that control our emotions, our thoughts, our level of alertness. It's like a direct input for our neural hardware.
And that brings us to the core mechanism, the real game changer, brainwave entrainment. This is the key. See, the brain is an incredibly rhythmic organ. And just like you can tune an old radio to a specific station, you can give the brain a steady rhythm, and it will naturally start to sync up with it. We can literally guide our brain from one state to another.
This table here, this is basically showing us the language our brain speaks. Think about your day. When you're wrestling with a tough problem at work, you're probably in a beta state. When you're just chilling out, feeling calm and reflective, that's alpha. And that deep, refreshing sleep you crave, that's the delta state. Once you understand these frequencies, you can start to intentionally target them.
Which brings us right to the heart of this research paper by Prem Sangeet, Petar Savic. It's a framework he calls State on Demand, and it's designed to do exactly what we've been talking about, use sound to program our mental state with absolute scientific precision.
And let's be super clear, this isn't just another chill vibes playlist. This is about engineering. It's a system where every single element of a soundscape, the rhythm, the frequency, the natural sounds, is meticulously chosen to hit a specific neurophysiological goal.
This quote from the paper just nails the level of detail we're talking about. The system gets that our brains are hardwired to react to tiny cues in our environment. A light drizzle might feel calming, perfect for focusing. But a heavy thunderstorm could be energizing, or for some people, it might even trigger a little anxiety. Specificity is absolutely everything.
Just look at this composer's toolkit. It's amazing. To help you get into deep sleep, you might combine the biophilic sound of a cat purring with the deep, low tones of a cello.
For intense, creative flow, maybe you'd layer the sounds of a rainforest with these complex dynamic synth patterns. Each ingredient is picked to work together, creating an effect that's way more powerful than any one sound by itself.
Now, this is already incredibly advanced, right? But the research paper outlines a future that takes this whole idea to a completely different level, a totally dynamic, personalized experience. Okay, this is the future vision, a closed-loop system. Imagine this. You're wearing a device, an Oura ring, maybe a small EEG sensor that's reading your brainwaves and heart rate. An AI analyzes that data, and right there, in the moment, it composes a unique soundscape just for you. If you start to lose focus, the audio subtly changes to guide you back. It's a continuous, adaptive conversation between your body and the sound around you.
And that right there is a massive leap forward. We're moving from a passive library of one-size-fits-all tracks to a truly responsive partner. A soundscape that isn't just something you listen to, but something that actually listens back to you.
I absolutely love this quote because it just captures the future of this technology so perfectly. Your own body, your own stress levels, your own brainwaves, they become the sheet music from which your personal sound environment is composed in real time.
So let's end on this thought. From tackling modern dysregulation with ancient wisdom all the way to programming our brainwaves with AI, the potential here is just incredible. So ask yourself, what could you do? What could you create or solve or figure out if the very sound of your world was constantly, perfectly, and personally tuned to help you be your absolute best? It's an amazing thought, isn't it?